and Woody likes the crooked cock.
Unless you count Magic the Gathering, like 6 or 8 months ago when I was getting into that. I will play that on stream. That game's fun. I can't wait to feel like, yeah, this is the game that I'm okay at. I get the mechanics, and then have a bunch of people in chat being like, fucking idiot. Fuck, why would you play a giant growth there? You could have saved up, played it next turn with this combo and done that. And then I'll have to say stuff like, well, I foresaw that and chose against it. Like, but yeah, man, I'm looking forward to Magic. Hopefully enough people give a fuck about watching that. Doubt it though.
That's what Filthy was doing for a while. It was his main game on there was Magic.
He has an established following of like strategy-minded people though. Like they love shit like that.
But I think that your viewer base for the longest time is going to be there for you. This is my line of thinking. I'm certainly no Twitch genius, but like the game is a entertaining backdrop to the Tailor show. So if you were to play COD like I did, for example, I think the Tailor show wouldn't be as good, right? Because you have to focus. You know what COD is like. You got to give it your full attention. But if you were to play Skyrim, well, shucks. Sometimes there's like 12-minute walks in that game. And that's when you can interact with the chat, answer their questions, and do their thing. I think that's what would make for a good Tailor show.
I think you're right. That's more what I want to do. Like, I want to be just making jokes and shooting the shit and interacting with people more than like, rats, my KD.
And Total War, right? You're good at Total War. But I don't know that makes for a good Tailor show. Okay. But I don't know that, because that would also is a game that occupies all your attention while it's happening.
Yeah. Tailor played mostly single-player Total War.
I played several single-player games thinking that I've developed some skill, and then I get into the multiplayer world and realize that I'm not right.
You know how it is when you play that first like Call of Duty campaign, you're like, well, I just dominated the entire nation of Iraq, essentially. And then we went to Afghanistan, won that, pretty much all by myself. Now let's take on some children on the internet. And you're like, well, they're not playing fair at all. Usually they slowly walk out into the street, see me, and then,
how come they throw grenades towards me?
These guys aren't standing up behind a burnt-out car, yelling 3 sentences in Arabic, and then slowly aiming at me.
Why isn't my strategy of standing in the door as if that was cover working?
I can't even Dragunov quickscope people anymore.
Yeah, that's how Total War is. Total War has a very high-level online community. I watch a lot of the competitive Total War on YouTube. I watch a lot of Turin, and he hosts tournaments and stuff. And I'm not at their level or anything, but I've played against him, and I get my shit absolutely pushed in. Like, it's a bit of a fight. And I went back and watched his stream to see what he said about me, and he wasn't rude. I was like, yeah, that's a win. He's like, all right, he's got okay. Oh, so he's doing this and that.
Like little things where he's like, not a bad army composition. You're like, not a bad army composition.
Well, I did copy yours from 2 months ago. Thank you very much. So
the most fun I had on Total War is when we do 2v2s.
Turin.
I'm sorry, Taylor.
We do 2v2s, Kyle and I, on Total War, and we would play a couple 2v2s versus random people, win occasionally, and then eventually Kyle would be like, hey, gaming bros, buy Total War and join our lobby. And they'd be like, I don't know how to play or what to do. And you're like, just get it and join. And then they join and it'd be like, all right, so which one of us is with Taylor? Which one's with Kyle? It's like, neither. It's both of you versus both of us. just going like a 10-game just steamroll streak. And that was,
it's like your favorite scene from like any movie with like the army on horseback that just comes charging down the mountain, and the plebs are just like, no, and they just destroy. That was every single game. It was so much fun.
And all we would do is like, it got to the point where Kyle would be like, hey Taylor, can you just build like a normal infantry build? I'm gonna build nothing but mountain giants this game. just 12 of those guys storming ahead and fucking them up. That was great. Yeah, or just nothing but minotaurs. Just minotaurs.
Yeah, that works. Yeah,
it did work. We tore
the best example of us doing that to people though was when we had everybody download Age of Mythology.
Oh yeah.
we had it, and meanwhile, like we've told this story before, but goddamn, yeah, it's clickety click RTS. Micro matters, but army composition matters, and it's one of those timing based games where it's like that mad rush to like assemble your village that is basically your military might making machine. It's your army factory, and you've got to assemble it in the right order down to like, if you're off by a few seconds, you've kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And so I would just watch like professional players, tournament level players, and copy their build order down to the second for hours at a time every day. Marijuana helps with this sort of thing. It is a performance enhancing drug. I'm sitting there like, nope, off by 2 seconds, restart, just again and again and again. So when we played against those children who had never played the game before, that was a lot of fun.
It was great.
That was a lot of fun.
That's a strong
because
strategy.
I remember
And if
two
they're
of your
too
friends
good,
who-
go younger.
Two of your friends,
Orthos.
yeah. Two of your of the gaming buddies who bought it and played. Like I remember, you're like, I'm just gonna, basically SimCity back here with Zeus and all the most powerful infantry. You play Loki Rush and just to get like a couple Herseers, these like little cheap heroes. Loki is a Norse god, and like his like strategy. If you try and SimCity with him, late game, you're going to get fucked. Like your guys have too low armor. He's all about heroes and myth units like fire giants and mountain giants and shit. And there's a strat with him, which is just start off the game, build a temple, get a bunch of, or start off the game, send your builders deep into their territory, just out of their vision, build a temple, and then just pump a steady supply of these heroes into there. Not enough to win the game, but enough to kill every villager.
Ruin it.
And so for like the first couple games we did that, like the people, because all four of us are in the same chat, the same audio chat.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, ugh, these fucking NPCs are showing up at my base again, slaughtering all of my villagers. This is bullshit. Are you guys dealing with this? And we're like, oh yeah.
They don't know it's
So
you.
we kill them though. And then like maybe 3 games in, they're like, wait, these say Tailor Murka. Where'd you build these from?
It's a hilarious strategy.
it's
Like Taylor said, like instead of building this like thing in your village that you build like a temple and then like a stables and each of these things builds different kinds of units, but instead your whole point is to find their base and then put that temple, which is the Herseer creating. Herseers are like these badass motherfuckers that you can build very early. And you're building units in their backyard, and the units are just going and massacring their villagers. And you need those villagers. If you lose one, you've fucked up.
Desperately.
Yeah,
you need those bad. And Kyle would be SimCitying, and I would be focusing on just fucking with them. And so Kyle always had an abundance of resources. So I'd be like, hey, I need 500 food and 600 more gold to keep fucking with him. And he'd just ship that over. And the thing with these Herseers, if you play Loki, is as they're attacking, they have a special ability of they will randomly summon myth units. And so they could just be hitting a house, and then like a troll will pop up and start fucking the house too. And then a second later, a Valkyrie will pop up and start fucking. They're like, this isn't fair. Oh, it was so much fun. We should do that.
Yeah,
again.
we can get into that. Like, I don't know if I bet people would like to watch that. I would need so much practice to get good at that again.
Same.
It's
I
been
forgot
so
all the
long.